no big deal. Have you had a chance to look at the actual group itself? Most of this information is already there. All this right here is already in that group.
Yeah, I did read whatever was there.
Okay, all right.
Unless you just added it within the last couple days, but
No, what I did do is I broke down the rules of the game, and that's what I was hoping to discuss with the group and see what people think about it. But if you don't mind, let's wait a couple more minutes, see if at least a few more people show up, and then we'll go
sure,
into it.
perfect.
All
Yeah,
right, great.
I'll just be on mute then here.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. I'll leave it up here if you want to just read through it.
I'm doing this on my phone, so it's a little bit hard to read, but I'll zoom in.
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever's comfortable for you. You're welcome to turn off the video, just put the phone down on microphone or whatever. It's fine, whatever you feel
sure.
comfortable doing.
Okay, great. And I go by G.
Oh,
I know
okay.
my name might
Nice
be
to
a
meet
little
you. Name
bit
is George.
hard. Hi, George.
Let's see.
So how many of these have you done already?
I'm sorry, what was that, G?
How many of these games have you done already?
This will be our first game.
Oh, first one. Okay,
Yeah, this
okay.
is our first meet and greet. We started the group about a month ago, and my goal is to try to do them at least once every month, if not twice a month. The biggest concern we have is the factor that if it's an indoor game, it's very costly. Outdoor
Okay.
game is practically well, I want to say it's free, but it doesn't cost anything to do it in like a public park.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more money to be made that way. There's a lot more fun to be had that way. If we do it as an indoor event, there's a lot of just the rental of the space is quite costly.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if we should just all wait until like the March time when weather gets nicer and we could do our outdoor events, or should we try to push for some form of indoor game too?
Get it.
I
But
don't want to necessarily. What's that?
you've done this outside the group though, right?
No, I have not. I know
Oh.
I've got a premise behind it. I have a mission behind it. I have a goal of the outcome, but we have not done it yet.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah. This initial meeting was meant to be like, what are your thoughts? What do you guys think we should do? What do you guys feel like we should cut out of the game? You know, like maybe the indoor idea entirely should be cut out. Let me show you what the let me see. Hold on a second. So here's our price breakdown of what we're expecting to spend and what we're expected for the players to win. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest problem is the if we have to pay for a venue, I have to take about 75% of the pay to cover the expenses.
I
A
see.
general rental space, if I get an inexpensive one, is somewhere between $500 an hour if we rent it for more than 1 hour, or $650 an hour if we rent it for 1 hour.
Yeah, okay.
And that's quite costly if we don't have enough players to join in.
All right.
So
So then
here's
you gotta have like a minimum of how many players you need to have.
yeah, and our hope is to at least have a minimum of 30 people that are interested in join an event. But I want to see what others think about the idea of the cost. Because I don't want it to be costly for anybody, including myself. I want there to be fun involved, and I want there to be money involved where others can actually get paid for what they do. My goal
Yeah.
isn't to make money off of these things. My goal is to make it as fun as possible without costing us money.
And I think that should go across the board. I think with every player too. It's not,
Yeah,
I mean, money is just more of okay, fun
yeah,
things, but
yeah.
you
So
know.
so our cost is, let me see if I can find that area. Where is it at? Hmm. Okay, well, that's not it. All right, here you go, right here. The Woburn laser tagging area that we found that has indoor venue that we could rent is
Mm-hmm.
$500 an hour if it's multiple hours and 650 if it's an hour. But the only way we can make it into an hour game is by actually making it more like a 50-minute game. just so we could
Mm-hmm.
be in and out within an hour. And I don't feel like that's as fun as it should be.
Because then you're rushing it.
Yeah, you're rushing and then takes the fun out of it. It's not a game anymore. It becomes more like get in, get out, and we don't want that to happen.
Right,
So
right.
let me do this real quick. I'm gonna see if there's other people in the chat that are saying anything. I'll come on, minimize. Uh,
Hey G, this is Sandy here. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Sandy.
I'm in the group with George and trying to help out with the whole group. So welcome as well. I just wanted to mention if you can think of anywhere that's outdoor, that's large enough that we can kind of drive through and have a look at before we have a meeting there or just have a game there. If you
Mm-hmm.
can just message us that, we can also, discuss that and consider that as one of the outdoor locations so that it can also cut on our costs.
I see. And usually you do it just within Boston or right outside, like greater Boston area.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think the radius we're aiming for is about 30 miles around the Boston area, whether it be south of Boston, north of Boston. Most of the one we've been looking at is north of Boston,
Mm-hmm.
but we're open for any area basically. Like here are three different samples of what we were thinking about. Like this one's called Whiphill Park. It's an area that's close to us that we recognize and we know the lay of the area basically. This would be a lot. Look at all the trees and the areas you could hide. There's even open spaces where we could do little events and little missions and stuff like that. This is the kind of things we're looking for. This is approximately a quarter mile both ways, all around basically.
I see.
So this is the space we're thinking of doing these type of events at. And here's another one. Yeah, see this one's got you got some water too. They got some open area like right, they're to the right of it. This is the type of stuff we are looking for. If we
I
could
see.
find many events or many spaces where they're free like these are and go there and have fun and oops, something happened with this one. And not have to spend money out of pocket to rent a space, that's the best scenario. This one's called Fort Lee. This one's pretty interesting because it's got a lot of hills and you could, hide into bushes and trees and stuff like that. Not
Mm-hmm.
to mention this place has plenty of parking, so you won't have to worry about looking for parking either.
Cool.
Yeah, so these are the type of things we're looking for. If we could find them, great. If we feel like the indoor idea might be something we could do, we'll do it. But I believe the more we do outdoor, the better because it's less costly and there's more money for the winning pool for either the ones that play as hunters or the ones that play as prey. So here's the breakdown of what each one of those gets paid and what the concept behind it is. So if you see that the hunter could I get from 15% to 40%, but this is something that's paid out at the end of each game. The prey is a little different. The prey is you collect it as a winning pool, and then we pay it out to the winner who has three wins. Yeah. So this
So yeah,
this
so it seems if if an indoor venue is an option, but then you definitely need to have at least what is it then over 35, 40 people.
yeah, ideally we'd like to have minimum of 30 people. When it comes to an outdoor event, we will actually charge less for it because our expenses are so much less, and we would actually cover all of our costs for the material and everything we need to do to make the game accessible for 30 people.
How many people
Theoretically,
are? Oh,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
How many people are in the group right now in total?
The group right now is 35 people.
Hmm.
This
So
meeting
yes.
should we had 25 people supposed to attend this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like some people are not able to, and just some people just decide not to show up, which is fine. It happens. I'm not upset about it. It happens. So, I mean, having one person discuss
Yourself.
this with is good enough for me because I'm just getting ideas out there and hoping that there's great ideas that you might come up with or you think will add to the game.
Yeah, is there
Yeah.
anything that you think might be a concern of yours or anything?
No, so I haven't really got into analyzing the breakout, but it all, like I said, I think money shouldn't be the focus as far as the winning. It's more of having fun and playing the game, meeting people. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. That's what we were talking about too. It's just an additional thing that gamers I think would find exciting, but it's definitely not the main basis of the game. The reason why we have so much of a breakdown is because of the locations. Because primarily the locations are what's gonna make the price of the game more expensive.
right, right.
and
Yeah,
I
and
like
then
the idea that
location
you're.
wise,
What's that, G? Say that again, G. You still there?
yeah, I think I interrupted you. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I was waiting for you to tell me what you were saying.
No, I was saying from the location standpoint, especially when, the need is really not, you don't need to have such a big area if it's only kind of a quarter of a mile
Yeah.
um, distance. I mean, Woburn, Stoneham, even like Waltham. I live around Waltham area.
Okay.
There's definitely like parks all around these towns.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I like about this area. There's so many outdoor parks that we could do these in. Until like until somebody complains about the fact that we're doing outdoor events like this, then we'll move on to the next one. That's the benefit behind it. But the biggest problem I have is that weather is not the best until about March at least to start doing these outdoor events. And I didn't want to make people wait till March. I wanted to
yeah,
grow the group as much as I could until that day. But if I have the opportunity to do indoor events and people are interested in doing it, then I will do it. It's just a matter of seeing if people are interested in doing it. For now, it seems like outdoor is ideal. But
it
like you
is
said,
ideal
yeah,
as long as it doesn't start snowing crazy and
yeah.
all of that. Like this weekend, let's say, would have been perfect, right? It's not too cold.
Well,
It's
see,
not.
that's the
It's
problem. So if you recall when I asked those few questions when people are joining into the group, if they're willing to do events that are under 60 degrees, outdoor events if it's under 60 degrees, most said yes. Some said no. That means there's a possibility that even under 60 degrees is too cold for certain people to do stuff like this.
right.
I could suggest doing one in February and see how people, uh, you know, how people react to it. If they're interested in doing it, then that's great. But I almost feel like it's too cold for people to be standing around outside for an hour at a time, even if it's like 45, 50 degrees outside.
Well, the thing is, it's not just that they're going to be standing, they're going to be running around, and it's more of snow. I think that's the concern. And
Yeah.
whether it's they have the car to get there or if it's too slippery or whatever. But I temperature wise, I think it's not going to be as much of a concern as opposed to weather, right? Like even if it's raining or snowing, that's I think where people might be more hesitant.
Yeah, and you need to be very flexible, right? Especially if you're planning this ahead of time. So if you announce, a month or 6 weeks prior, and then 3 days before, there's a storm coming, and then all of a sudden everything's kind of just canceled. And so I understand how fluid you have to be with these type of things. And I guess people around here they know where they live. So as long as there's
Yeah.
flexibility, we can all plan, and then a week ahead we can make a call, right? If we see that, oh, there's forecast doesn't look great, then we're gonna postpone it by a week or so. If not, then just keep it.
Yeah, as long as people kind of know what we want to do, we can the thing is with the indoor events, we can book it earlier if we really want to. If we know like a couple weeks ahead that it's going to be cold outside and people are okay with us switching. But playing outside is definitely something that we can change a lot quicker or change, delay or something like that. It's just that if somebody signs up, we want them to know like they're guaranteed a spot. We just have to find the location and the right day to do it.
Right, right.
Well, it seems like you are okay with the idea of the cost because you're doing it more for the fun aspect, and I like that a lot. If I could
Yes.
uh if I could think of any better way of doing it where cost is not enough factor, that'd be great. But at the moment, I feel like the selling factor isn't only the idea of having fun, but it's the fact that you could also win some money doing it. And it becomes more of a challenge. It becomes more of an event where people are trying to win the game instead of just playing just to play the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping that that becomes one of the main factors behind it. Also, the fact that it's fun, but also that you could win the game.
Yeah, it's a minor competition, but it doesn't have to be, right? Like we want people to meet up, we want to make new friends, we want people to be outside and enjoying the weather or whatever it is, or just being outside because we're avid hikers, we love being outside. So, just a way to get a group of people to be outside and hang out together, that's our goal. But, the prize at the end of it isn't going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, no, totally get it. I mean, I've joined a few running groups, and what we do sometimes on a weekend, we run, let's say, in Waltham from a small pub area where everybody meets. We get 30 people or so. We'll go for a run for an hour. We come back. Everybody goes inside and either gets coffee, tea, or if it's evening run, we get some drinks and hang out. So it's really more of that aspect. I think that should be one of the primary goals, and maybe even there could be a poll to the group just to say kind of what you're expecting, right? Is this more for fun and money? If you win some, that's great. If is it more than money? But I think I think the idea behind this, the people why would they be joining, is just to really enjoy and have
Mhm.
fun and meet people.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of get an idea of what their ultimate goal is as well as ours.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to set a different expectation, right? If you're gonna have
Right.
like 5 to 10 people who come here and just all they want to do is win money and then go home right after without
Yeah.
hanging, then it's a different type of
Well,
group
yeah,
for
that's
them.
like part of our idea of you only win something if it's the best of three, right? So like
Right.
you have to win three games to actually win any money. But the reason why we were trying to split it up between hunter and prey so that not only prey gets paid something and the hunter has an incentive for being a hunter, you know.
Right.
But yeah, ultimately, like the being a hunter or prey, like we want it to be a choice by the player, but then it won't be balanced out, because there might be more people that want to be hunters and less that want to be prey, and there'll be too many hunters to prey.
No, I
So
see.
we kind of, yeah, we wanted to kind of balance it out and kind of make a limit on how many of each one there can be,
Mm-hmm.
or, at least limit the hunters so it's a little more challenging for them to capture the prey. And, you actually do spend an hour running around as opposed to just the first 15 minutes and everybody gets eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the your idea of creating some form of survey where people get to answer the question or if they're more interested in the money or the actual game itself is a great idea. I will definitely create one and send it out to everybody in the group and see what kind of response we get. And with that kind of response, we could actually understand if it's a good idea to even do an indoor game or not. And if it turns out that it is a good idea to do an indoor game, I will suggest the location and then see how many people sign up for it because Meetup has this option where you could actually pay up front to join that event. And if we get enough people to actually pay up front to join the event, that money could cover the rental space for the indoor event. And we'll
I
play
see.
it by ear like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is all about just having fun, and that's what I want out of it. I want to have fun. I want to meet people. I'm not here to make money off this. It's not like I'm trying to, you know, collect the money that's been invested in it. It's all going into the game.
No, of course. And I think that's where, in communications, I think if um just stress that point that, after the game is done, will be time to hang out, to
Yeah,
chat, to wherever,
and
even, or find a local pub or something to
yeah,
spend, another extra hour just
yeah,
just 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 being there. And the game is just more of a reason to go there and really have
Yeah, most
fun,
of
do a
these
little bit of
places,
running. Hmm.
yeah, most of these places are in populated cities, so we won't be far from anywhere. So like, yeah, definitely afterward, just to get to know each other. What did you guys like? Like let's go hang out somewhere and kind of go over what we enjoyed and like, should we do this again or. you guys are a cool group, let's hang out. You know,
Yeah,
Or I
my
wonder if, depending again on how active the members going to be between now and the first game, maybe it would make sense to organize just the first, not a game, just a gathering, more of let's meet at a pub somewhere, let's chat about this game, kind of present the rules, and then, or do you already have that?
we do actually. So the first one we have is an indoor place where they have laser tagging. It
Okay.
was meant to be more of a fun event that gives us the idea of kind of like how the tag would work in general. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a place where we were thinking about renting out eventually. This is the one I got priced out to see how much it would cost to rent it out. This is the 500 to $650 one. And we could
Mm-hmm.
find this place, we could go to this place, have fun here. I believe they have food too. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. But it's definitely a fun place. It's an indoor fun place where you could all hang out with similar ideas and we could share ideas and still play a game that up front doesn't cost anything. So they have this thing
Right.
where you could rent it for 1850 a game for singles, and if you go in as a double, you could get for 2850. And this
Mm-hmm.
is this is a place where we could meet up. We don't have to do any of these games. You don't have to spend any of this money. This is just a place so we all meet up and kind of discuss. At the moment, only 3 people are attending, but if you get more people interested, that's great. This is in January. So it's in 3 weeks, it looks like, or maybe closer to, yeah, 3 weeks. I just want to have a place where we meet up and discuss. I'm not asking anybody to do the event yet. This is more just a place to meet up and trying to discuss what we want in the future of this game.
and certainly if there's people that you know that might be interested, or if you just want to invite some friends, they're more than welcome to join the team and just discuss it, or just to hang out with us too. You know,
Yeah, and
if
I
you can
wondered,
think of anybody, they're more than welcome. The more the merrier.
yeah, and given that this is kind of a brand new group, and I'm sure there's kind of the growing pains and learnings coming out of it,
Yeah.
uh, you know, something to learn about today, is it too far out to understand whether people want to commit to it, or do people make their plans just 10 days prior,
Yeah.
a week prior, or is it the weeknight maybe it might work better, or because the weekends might be tough depending wherever the
So
people.
I thought about that too. The reason I've picked Sunday and most of my events are Sunday at 2 o'clock is
Mm-hmm.
because if it's an outdoor event, it's probably the best time to go where it's not super crowded and it doesn't interfere with people's work. If it's an
Right.
indoor event, it could be Friday evenings for, as long as people are interested in doing it. We
Right.
have to try to figure out what's the best time. I thought Sunday afternoon would have been fine because it doesn't interfere with the dinner time or anything like that. Maybe family events that you guys meet up with. I would think it would be a good idea, a good time to meet. If it turns out that's not the case, we have to kind of adjust according to what other people need. Then it is what it is. We have to do it. I didn't want to pick Saturday because a lot of people like going out Saturdays more than they do like on Sundays, for example.
Yeah, Saturday might be tough. Yeah,
Yeah,
just kind of thinking of my own group of friends. It's always hard to get them to do anything.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, like Sandy mentioned, just get a if you got people that are interested, share the idea. Word of mouth is where this is gonna go. It's gonna blow up or expand. The more people talk about it, more people are interested in it. I want to just get ideas of what you might dislike or what you do like. I will send out all this information for you to read and for all the other members that didn't attend to read. And I just want to get as much input as possible, and then we'll go from there. My goal is
Perfect.
just to make it as fun as possible.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just getting that initial ball rolling that's going to be the toughest part, right? Because then once you have it once, then people enjoy it. People
Yeah.
already get to know each other. Then they want to do it again. But I think the first one is like the tricky.
Yeah, so I mean, let's say for example, we don't get anybody to bite until March, then it is what it is. I will wait until
Right.
March, and the weather should be clearing up. It'll be nice out in that time, and we'll do that outdoor event. And worst case scenario, if people don't show up, then we'll just go hang out at a bar or something and just chill and hang out. it's not the end of the world, you know. It's like the idea behind it is just to try to meet people that are like-minded and like to do the same things we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were just thinking of something a little unusual, a little different, so that it's a little more attractive for people to meet up and make new friends that are like-minded. So,
no, this is great. And like I said, if we see that nothing might really take place until March, then yeah, how about getting together on a Thursday night in January somewhere at a bar and just
Yeah,
first of all get to meet each other and chat, and maybe there'll be more ideas that might come out. And but but yeah, I think that would be great.
yeah, sounds good. Just as a fair warning, it looks like we have about 6 minutes on the meeting. We're using the free version of Zoom, so they limit it to a
Yeah.
40-minute meeting. But
Okay. Well,
is there
I'm
any
good. No,
is there any
really, there's
questions you have?
no, and it really, like I said, I wasn't really focused too much on uh, from the rule standpoint or how the money's being split, because that's not my goal
Right.
to get. So that's why I trust the process. I trust wherever you guys come up with. That's great. When I have a minute, I'll get through this list again just to see if anything pops. But no, I think as long as we focus on the fun part and meeting people, and then the money is more secondary, just more of, yeah,
Okay.
you came and you won, you got a couple of bucks, that's great, good for you.
No, I
But that
definitely
should be,
like that idea. I like the idea of making the money the secondary. I was assuming that it would become more priority to the certain players because that's just what they would hope would be the major outcome of this game. And but if it's not, then that's perfectly fine. Just a couple of questions. How do you feel about downloading a specific app that would basically be sharing your location?
uh, during the game, you mean?
Yeah, the idea we have with this app is that it will show us on a map where you are so you don't go outside of the boundary of the play area. And if anything, like if you get lost or something, we're able to find you. Like these are the things that we have to consider for outdoor events that
Mm.
are like over a quarter mile big, you know?
Yeah, I know this app just because I have a 17-year-old son, and just for driving purposes,
Uh-huh.
we
Uh-huh.
have it. Uh, I would be totally fine. I don't know about other people as far as what the privacy kind of
Right.
limitations might
That's
be,
my
but
concern, you know. I want it to be safe enough where people are able to let us know if they're in trouble or if they're lost or they can't find their way around things or they're getting too deep into the forest or something. But I'd also know
right.
some people have problems with privacy. So what I'm thinking about doing is perhaps sharing this idea, and if at the end of the game they could basically delete the app if they want to, or remove themselves from the group and then re-add themselves if they need to afterwards.
Yeah, that I think that's a good idea. And then
Yeah.
I think these type of questions, especially where you don't know where it might tend to go, whether it's people will be against it or for it or neutral. Again, I think maybe a good type of survey with
Yeah.
getting the feedback on the money versus fun part, right? And then
Uh-huh.
getting the feedback on this app, let's say. And so I think 3-4 question survey just will give you a good picture on where people
Okay.
are leaning
That's a good
towards.
idea. So it seems like most of these questions will basically be in that survey, and I'll send it out and see what people say. Either the
Yeah,
price breakdown, the indoor idea, the outdoor idea. Before the event, I'm gonna send out this a different type of survey to ask if you want to be a hunter prey or just be added to the lottery, which means that at the end of the day of the event, we pick if you are hunter or prey.
I like the lottery part.
Yeah,
Just
that
leave it out, because then somebody will be assigned a hunter or something, and then there'll be feelings. Oh, I want
yeah.
to be prey. I just
Yeah, let them try it. You know, like if they don't try it, they don't know how much more fun it is. Um,
exactly.
we also have we'll be bringing out a release form for people to sign. It could either be a digital form or it could be a handwritten form, whichever you guys prefer signing it. It's basically just stating that, like typical here, actually I have it open somewhere. Where is it at? Yeah.
dangers are your own.
It's a typical liability release form, like it says if anybody gets hurt during the game, blah blah blah. If you like bruise yourself or twist an
Oh
ankle,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's simple. But this is something that everybody was signed. I already have it pre-signed. You just put the
Mm-hmm.
date and then you sign in. That's it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. It's we're trying to make it as fun and safe as possible, but we'll see how
perfect.
things go. I am definitely on board with the idea that sending out a survey to see what other people think is a great idea.
Awesome. Well,
Also,
well,
just as
thanks
a
for all
heads
the
up,
effort.
go ahead, G, was that?
I said thanks for all the effort because that
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
takes a while.
Yeah, we've been sitting down writing this up, my sister and I, and we've got into a lot of details, and I think I'm excited about it. It sounds really good to me. Um, one other thing I'm thinking about doing is having people who are playing either the hunter or the prey to be recording their experience to add it to a video that we cut together and put it up on our YouTube channel or something like that. That's not
Oh.
that's not critical. It's just something fun I think we should try out.
Yeah, I would just say there's so many great ideas, but more of just knowing how life works. I would just say prioritize maybe one or two. You know, don't get
Uh,
too spread out because then you'll be hard to manage your own expectations and your own
yeah, that's a
understanding of
good
what
point.
work. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
would
that's a
just
good point.
say start slower and fewer things, and then as it progresses, then things can be added.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sandy keeps telling me that too.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I'm the same way. I'm like, when I want to go out, I have this like 10
yeah,
different ideas what we can do, but then I think the more details, the more rules, the more apps and
yeah.
everything, then people will start kind of saying, oh, it's a little bit too much.
Okay. All right, G, it looks like we got less than a minute till this meeting's over, so I'm gonna cut it short and we're gonna end it. But I'm really glad you joined in and your input was really helpful. And
Perfect. Thank you so much
Yes, thank
for
you.
yeah,
for
we'll
holding
stay in
this.
touch then.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
All right,
All
thanks,
right.
G. Pleasure meeting you.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye now.